program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and our topic for today is breast cancer awareness. Are we winning the battle? We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive FI with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, I spoke with Tracy Kincaid, and we talked about if he did it before, he can do it again. Head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio. Stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is, "Cancer is a word, not a sentence." Your trending topic for today: there was a large police presence outside of the South Suburban Walmart this morning. Police could be seen outside of Country Club Hills Walmart, located at 4005 167th Street, just after 11 a.m. this morning. Chopper 7 was over the scene, and an armored truck and another car that appeared to have crashed into each other was also visible. Police tape was around the scene, and evidence markers were on the ground as well. An FBI official said that agents had responded to a bank robbery at the U.S. Bank located at 4350 Lincoln Highway in Matson, Illinois this morning. Shots were fired at the incident. No injuries were reported, said the FBI. It was not immediately clear if the incidents were connected, so details are still unraveling regarding this incident. Those are your trending topics for today. We are so grateful for our sponsor. We have Emanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, and he has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel COGIC at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel COGIC-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Co-hosting with me today is none other than cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Hey, Rizal.
Hey, Lady ReShell.
How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm good. Excited about this topic today.
You know, I thought about this today, and no one talks about cancer as much as we do.
That is so true. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing, because this way we keep people, keep them relevant and keep them focused, and, continue to give information that's, that's going to be for their well-being, down the line, because we know that day in and day out, there's always new people being diagnosed. So, I'm quite sure there's a lot of people out here who are thankful for this type of show that we have and that we've been doing for many, many years now.
Yes, especially with breast cancer, because, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is just 1 month, right? It's in October, but we know, like you said, people are being diagnosed every single day with breast cancer. So it should not just be talked about in the month of October.
Correct, because it's a year-round thing.
Absolutely. So
but wait. Yeah. What is going on with the bank robberies going on out there in Chicago?
It's like carjacking, it's the bank robberies, running in stores, grabbing. I don't know what's going on.
I've been seeing all the looting and everything going on lately. Like, I know the inflation is driving people crazy, but I know times is hard, but man, oh man, it's like it's nation spread. It's like a wildfire. It's everywhere. You think that car hitting that armored truck was an accident? Right.
Right.
They were just waiting for them doors to fly open like they did in New Jersey, and all of that money flew out. And then they wanted the people to return the money. And anybody had videos, they wanted to see. Yeah, okay.
Wow. Yeah. And you know, those guys inside of in those trucks, they're armed. My brother used to drive the armored truck and he was the driver and he had a guy that sat in the back with the gun, with a shotgun. So if
Uh-huh.
anybody tried to get in there, they were going to be blown away. So I don't know. I don't know at this point, I think they're bored. I really think that they're bored because there's no way that they just gave us all these stimulus checks that people could have flipped and did something with it. And so I don't understand what's going on.
But that was a couple years back now with the stimulus checks.
But they could have did something with that money. They gave us how many?
Yeah. Three?
Was it
I
three?
think it was 3.
Okay, they could have did something with that.
No, that wasn't enough.
So they figured like, okay, we'll just rob this. We'll carjack people because they don't want to get their own cars, and then they'll rob the bank. They figure, you know, rob the bank, you get how many years? 10 years? Rob the bank.
Well, all depends on what happened. Because if somebody gets shot or killed, that could get you life. I don't know if Chicago has like the death penalty out there or anything, but
I don't think we do.
that could put you in a lot of trouble.
That's true. So I don't know what's going on. It's just something in the air.
No, ain't nothing. It's something in the government. They need to start raising rates, and all of this is driving people to a point where they got to go rob and kill.
It's sad. And there's a lot of people out here that conceal and carry. So you really should be really careful when you run up on people.
I'm one.
My brothers all conceal and carry. And it's
I'm
like,
licensed.
you know, just be careful because people are going to protect their stuff. Yeah, you can replace it. You have insurance on the stuff. But sometimes it's just a principle like, you're just not going to come up here and just take my stuff. Like, I'm going to get some type
Especially
of
all these businesses where they're running in there. Like, we work too hard. Like, I'm a business owner myself, and somebody to come in and take all that stuff that I'm struggling to keep in there and sell and do all the, nah, yeah, you just ain't coming. But yeah, yep, Nicole is right. It's terrible.
Yeah, in California, they passed a law. I forgot what part of California. They passed a law that the business owner can't call the police unless it's over a certain amount, like maybe like $5,000 or so. So they can run in there. They know how much they can run in and take before they actually call the police. So people running in, just grabbing stuff and leaving. Because the police ain't gonna come if they know it's not at a certain amount, they're not coming. So what do? You have to arm yourself. As soon as they step in that door, be like, you can try to go to everybody in here armed.
Well, like my mama used to say, what is this world coming to?
I don't know. It's sad. Very sad. All right, we're going to talk about breast cancer awareness. Are we winning the battle? And I don't know if this is a tricky question to ask. Awareness is important. Let me just say that it's an important for all types of cancers, right? Especially breast cancer, when it comes to breast cancer, because they push early detection, right? And I just wish that they would push prevention, but we know we're not there yet. And I don't know if we're going to be there anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. We was just talking about the world. They put more money into fighting the Ukrainian war, and they get upset of money that's not being advocated to that war versus the war on cancer that's going on right here in our backyard that's been going on for years. So do you really think we win in the battle? No. That's my answer. No, we're not.
According to Susan G. Komen, we've been doing breast cancer awareness for nearly 4 decades now.
40 years.
Yes, and then the war on cancer, it's been 50 years. And then the war on cancer was something that at the time the president thought that within 5 years we'll find a cure. So they put all that money into research at that time, and here we are still putting money into research and nothing.
Well, look, they allegedly found a vaccine for COVID within a certain amount of time. Why? Because it was just killing people a little bit too faster than what they wanted. So why can't they find a vaccine or something to cancer to slow it down, or, or prevent it, or whatever?
Or make it a chronic disease, like you got diabetes. It's chronic. Even HIV right now is chronic. It's a chronic disease. But it seems like, Rizal, it seems like all they want to do is just go in and use all these chemicals and kind of like bum rush your system to try to kill it. No, and I know we are experiments. Like each one of us are experiment. We're a statistic to them. So to see how far they can push the limit with us, and I just feel like, I was reading something the other day saying that if they treated it like a chronic disease, to where they wouldn't go in and overload the system with all of the chemicals and try to eradicate those cells slowly, instead of really fast like that. And people are dying from the actual treatment and not cancer.
I'm about to say that's what some of it is what got us here in the first place, with the chemicals and different things. They're just taking jabs. Well, this might work, but it's lunchtime. Let me go and come back. And well, that didn't work. Let's try this. And then now it's time to go home. And it just keeps going and going. And now here we are 40, 50 something years later, and we're still in the same place with numbers increasing.
You just hit it on the nail. Numbers increasing. 297,990 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed, and this is in 2023.
Now, is that the year or is that a month?
Oh, that's a year.
In a year. So basically 300,000 new cases per year. 5 by 12. So yeah, that's a lot. That's too many. That's too much.
That is too much. I don't know. I feel like I get we're supposed to be vigilant about our bodies, right? There's really, and this is just my opinion, there's really nothing we could do to stop breast cancer from coming.
Right.
So they give us these preventive things. Okay, you exercise, you eat right, you watch your stress, you breastfeed, you don't do birth control. Like they throw all these things at us. And you have people who have done all those things, maybe not purposely, but it fits them. And then they still get cancer or breast cancer. And yes, you can have a hereditary link. You can test positive for the BRCA gene and that increases your risk. Well, what about those people who don't fall into that category? Then like, how many of those people fall into that 297,000?
Like I said, the chemicals, what they've been given. Think about it, you just named it. The food. They're putting chemicals to the food, the birth control. That's something that's man-made, that's causing cancer. They're giving everything that causes cancer. They are giving it to us.
Even makeup that we put on our skin and stuff. People bleaching their skins and stuff, like all of that.
Right, because you get skin cancer, or it can seep through. You get some other type of cancer. So, yep, absolutely.
So overall, the average risk of a woman in the United States developing breast cancer sometime in her life is about 13%, which is 1 in 8. And it's been 1 in 8 for a while.
I thought it used to be like 1 in 3.
Oh no.
And 1 in 2.
No,
that's for black kids. That's for our black women.
No, that's for cancer. For what is it?
That's for cancer. Period.
Right, 1 in 2 for men, and 1 in 3 for men, and 1 in 2 for women. So yeah, but for black women, it's 1 in 5.
That's a big number. I think they lying about the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Again, just how they was lying about the COVID numbers. They lie about everything. You can't trust the media for nothing. They will twist and turn just to get a story.
That's true. I agree. And she says that's sad. Can you say that's sad? It is. It really is, because these are people's lives that you're messing with. Like, they look at it as money. they look at it as statistics, but these are people's lives, people's loved ones, people's mothers, fathers, kids, like really.
And look, and we didn't even get into big pharma yet, and how they and how they're jacking up the prices. Like I said, I don't know what this world is coming to, but it's becoming harder and harder to live. Like, I can't understand how you can take, perfect example. I think I told you before, I'm buying a house and there's other people, but I'm looking at other people. How do you take someone who is already struggling to make the bare minimum to live in a house and get out of their apartment or whatever it is that they live into? And because their credit or whatever the case is not up to par of what America think that it should be, that you jack up the price on them. You're making it even harder for this person to stay. And this is how now the economy has to go up, because now we got all these defaulted loans, all these mortgages that's falling through. And then you keep raising the prices. The mortgage rate is like going through the roof right now. People don't even want to sell, because if they sell, yeah, they'll get a pretty penny, but it's not going to be beneficial for them. They're going to be putting out more than what they brought in.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's like, that's the so-called the American dream, but it seems it's getting harder and harder to obtain. And if you do get it, some people may be house poor when they get in there.
Yeah, well, you know what that do? Stress. And we know stress is a killer. And stress will activate them dormant genes in you that causes cancer. And next thing you know, so not only do you not have a place to live, but now you got another battle in front of you.
That's true. King, you said that's why it's important to advocate for yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was just shaking my head agreeing.
I don't know why you wouldn't. That's my thing. I don't know why you wouldn't advocate for yourself unless you're nervous or you feel like you don't have the information. But there are so many organizations out here that may be in your community that will advocate for you. Just let them know what you need. So you shouldn't, if you're in a place where you feel like you can't advocate for yourself, you don't know what to say, you don't know exactly what it is that you need, then reach out to some of these organizations, because they will go with you to your appointments and sit there and make sure you get the information that you need.
Well, I don't know how people are today, but I know when I got to a certain age and knowing what, like my father, what he went through, and then the rest of the family and everybody else, like, I get scared. I get scared, like, Lord, is this going to happen to me? Like, I'm doing everything correctly. I'm exercising. I'm eating right, all this and that. And, still what I get scared. So
you can imagine, somebody else. Yeah. She said she agreed with you.
Hey, Lisa.
I say if you're scared, do it scared. Like, just go through it scared and voice that you're scared. There's nothing wrong with you having a little type of fear and anxiety, especially when you hear all these negative things about going to get your mammogram. People spreading all these horrible things about, oh, it's so painful, oh, they're going to do this or that. Like, it's a lot of horrible stories out there. Go and experience it for yourself. You may not have that experience that everybody else has or have had.
And we always say here on this show that knowing is half the battle. So that part right there should just be enough for you to continue, go get checked up, go get checked out, visit your doctor, especially if you have a family history, and continue to just gather information. Like I said, advocate for yourself. Get the information just for you to know. If something don't feel right, anywhere, go see what's what. Go get an X-ray. Let them see what's happening there. You know, we want to try to catch that thing early before it just grow and grow and grow. And then next thing you know, you at towards the end and like, whoa, wait a minute, all this time. And now you running around like a chicken with your head cut off because doctor telling you ain't got much time. And now you worried and stressing. It's just too much.
That's true. I was talking to my daughter last week and she had her annual appointment. And so she's talking to the doctor about, her family history and everything. And the doctor was asking her, she should think about maybe getting a genetic testing. Like if she wants to get it, she can. And she was asking me about it. And I was like, you can definitely get it. Like I did the genetic test and they told me that it wasn't a hereditary leak, but we do know that there's some other genes out there that they haven't tested for everything. So I said, get it. At least, it's a step towards you having a sort of like a peace of mind. If it's out there for you to have some type of, I don't want to say prevention, but just to, like you said, arm you with information, then go ahead and get it.
Right. It's a relief knowing when it comes back negative. Whew. It's like, whew, okay, dodge that one. Thank you, Lord.
Yes. And then if it comes back positive, then you have to alarm your kids. If you have any kids, you have to alarm them, so it's information that people use it. They call previvors. So previvors are the ones who test positive for the BRCA1, BRCA2, and they use it as a preventive measure. They take measures to prevent cancer from coming in, if you can put it that way. So they have surgeries, they have increased supervision over them just to help prevent cancer from coming.
See, that's why we're here, to give out that good information that you just let them people out there know.
Yes. So are we winning this battle? And the first thing I wanted to talk about was early detection. Improve screening methods, increase awareness. And we all know, I feel like everybody is aware, but I should not assume that everybody is aware. But I just feel like, this information, I guess because I see it all the time, maybe across my page or, my feed, that I feel like everybody should be aware of, mammogram, when it's time to get a mammogram. Because I feel like the information is constantly being pushed out there and just shoved into people's faces.
Nope, because everybody is still worried about everything else. Inflation, where I'm going to live. So they're not thinking about a mammogram or going to the doctor, doing any of those things.
Which, I mean, it's okay to worry about those things, but at least we know we should be getting an annual checkup. And then at that annual checkup, depending on what your age is and what your family history is, then the doctor makes recommendations, I would hope.
Yeah, we should be, but look at the cost of healthcare. Look at the insurance. It's so expensive. Some people, you know how many Americans is walking around here with no health insurance? They can't even go to the doctor. So they can't go get a mammogram unless one of those trucks pop up that says free testing today or something like that. Other than that, they're not thinking about it. Well, I don't go to the doctor. What I don't know won't kill me. That's the attitude.
It will kill you.
Yeah, it will.
And they do, and that's why I was saying check organizations that are in your community. You may have smaller organizations that are in your community. I know one of them here is Equal Hope, and they will help you get a free mammogram. And they also have a program to where they can help you get health insurance as well. So you just have to, you can get on Google and you can type in free mammograms in my area, and something should come up. And if it's not in your area and it's out of your area, then call them anyway. Maybe they know somebody and they can link you up in order to get one. But there's ways to get one even if you don't have insurance.
Yeah. And then you can do your own anyway also.
Lisa said it would be nice if they hear you, Lady ReShell, and follow up. But yeah, not a reality. That's true.
Nope.
That's true. I had one guy that was in my inbox about, he was going to get the colonoscopy. And he was really nervous about it. And he inboxed me and he was asking me about it. And he was saying that he was nervous and the doctor recommended him getting it. He was just too afraid because he didn't know what the results were going to be. And then he was just afraid of the test altogether. Again, because we hear all these horror stories about, these particular tests. And I just encourage him. I was like, you have grandbabies, you want to see them grow up, you have kids, you have a wife. Like, why wouldn't you? Why, if you don't do it for you, do it for them, and do it so you can have a peace of mind. So with a colonoscopy, the good thing is this one is like cancer prevention, because if you get it when you're supposed to, or if you have a history in your family, you let the doctor know so they can let you know how early you should be screened. But you get it, it's age 45. You get it. If it's any polyps there, they remove those polyps. And then they'll tell you, oh, come back in 3 years, or oh, come back in 5 years. If there's no polyps, you come back in 10 years. So I look at a colonoscopy as a way of cancer prevention, only because they can remove those polyps, so that they won't keep growing in there. They can remove them, and that's a less invasive surgery as you getting breast surgery.
Yeah, that you can get.
Yes. And you already knocked out. So when you knocked out and they go in there and look, oh yeah, we see polyps, we're taking them out. You wake up and you're like, what happened? They're like, oh, we took out 3 polyps. And they're like, okay, what I'm going to do? Not go home and relax. Like, I don't know. But a lot of people are scared. And I ask people like, oh, you 50, have you had a colonoscopy? They like, no. I'm like, why? Like, that's so scary to me. I'm just like, just do it. Drink that little nasty stuff that they tell you to drink, stay close to the toilet, and then go. Just, And that same day, the good thing about it is that same day you get your results. So you're not at home waiting, biting your nails, trying to figure out what's happening. They're going to let you know right then and there when you wake up.
Yeah, that's good. You ain't sitting around the phone like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang waiting for the phone call to come. It's like, all right, I'm good for another 3 years. All right.
Yes. So that's the good thing about that. Kenya said that's definitely 55% of people's response. What I don't know won't hurt me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary though.
It is to us because we're people who's been on the other side of the fence. But when you have the majority who hasn't gone through all of this, even though everybody somewhere somehow has been touched by, cancer, they're not going to go. It's too much of more of other things in life that is holding them back from doing the necessity that they need to do to take care of themselves.
It's scary. Lisa says some people are afraid and come to terms of death and being inevitable, so they never get checked out.
Because it's like, well, doctor said I got cancer. I'm going to die anyway, so let me go and do what it is. And
well, I mean, I can understand if you got checked out and the doctor told you that and you said, okay, I'm not doing no treatment. I'm just going to do my thing. When I go, I go. That's one thing, but it's a totally different thing when you just don't get checked out and you just at home in your mind, you're probably diagnosing yourself really, but just too afraid to go.
Yeah, everybody, they going on Google. Hey, I got a chest pain here. Let me go on Google. And it says something, oh, that's what I have. That's what's going on. Nice knowing y'all.
That seems so scary to me. So when it comes to Rizal, when it comes to early detection, they push early detection, and I noticed that they never really push cure, or they never really push prevention when it comes to cancer. Only on certain cancers, like with the colonoscopy and what's the other one, the HPV with the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Like only, and I think those, I don't even know of any other ones that they talk about when it comes to a vaccine or prevention. I could be just missing them, but when it comes to early detection, the reason why they push early detection is because we know that there's no cure. So they say, okay, let's catch this cancer early when it's in its most treatable state so that you have more treatment options or have to take less treatments. And that's the reason why they push for early detection.
Well, they need to lower the age down from the mammogram. That would be one early early detection, because where it stands now, that number is too high. And I've been saying this for years, that people who are in their 30s and 40s is getting diagnosed with things, or having like heart attacks in their 30s, versus when I was growing up, it was 70 or so, such and such had a heart attack. It would become understandable because they're up there, but now you're talking about 30 years old having a heart attack, 25-year-old having stage 4 cancer. I knew at least 3 ladies who were stage 4, only 25 years old. So that just need to be, hey doc, I don't feel right. I'm 27. Oh, and they brush you. Oh, don't worry about it. You're okay. You're young. You're fun. No, doc, it's crazy. That number needs to come down, I think, to probably maybe around 30.
I agree. I feel like there really shouldn't be an age limit on it. If you have a history in your family, or you feel like there's something wrong, they should say, okay, we can test you for that. And people may feel like, well, I ain't got to worry about my breasts until I get 40. So I ain't even going to touch them. I ain't going to do nothing to them because they said I can't really get breast cancer until I get 40. And then they make you feel like breast cancer is an older person's disease. They always say, oh, the average age of a woman getting breast cancer is 62. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Not at all. That's what they programmed us to believe.
Yes. And so you go on thinking, well, I ain't got to worry about that because I'm not of that age. I'll worry about that when that time comes. Why am I going to be touching myself and driving myself crazy every single month, thinking something's there. And then if I go get it checked out, they're like, no, it's not there. And then they done stabbed you in the breast with giving you a biopsy, and you go home traumatized. And then they say, oh, it's nothing. We'll see you in a year or whatever. That could be really traumatizing for someone. And Kenya was saying that Google can definitely scare the daylights out of you.
Yeah, because Google don't know the things that you go on Google and the things that they say, and it seems though it's your symptoms, and you're just like, you got the Home Alone face going on, like, oh my God, I have it. It's in me. It's everything what Google said. It's doing it. No, you can't trust Google.
Do you feel like early detection result increases your chances of survival?
Absolutely. Knowing is half the battle. If you know early, then you can stop it from these different stages that it go in. If you catch it in stage 1 or stage, 2, because you don't want to go, as I say, 3 or 4. You don't want it to keep spreading and spreading and spreading. So if you can catch it early and stop it right there and nip it in the bud, then yes, early detection is good.
I feel like, I'm not going to say it's a myth, but I feel like, yeah, okay, you catch it early, but it doesn't guarantee you that we caught this cancer early. It doesn't guarantee you after you do what you have done that cancer is not coming back.
Right. Because I've had somebody, it's came back like 5 times.
So yeah, early detection is great. And I would say do whatever you have to do to make sure that you're vigilant about, your exams, you're going in for your clinical exams, for your mammograms, and then also doing your exams at home by yourself. So when something is wrong, you could go in and say, hey, this is not normal. The last thing you want to do, like Rizal was saying, is to come in and you're stage 4 and you're just like, what? What can I do? What can I do? I need anybody got a remedy, give me some concoction so I can take this. And I know it's a cure out there somewhere. And it's just like.
Yeah. Now everybody, now you're scrambling to trying to live now.
That can be scary. I've had 2 people in my inbox asking me, do I know of anybody who can put together some herbs for them that would help that cure cancer?
Yeah, we had them, but they killed them. Dr. Sebi.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's scary.
Dr. Sebi had cures for just about everything. Why would you not listen to this man, especially if it was working and if his thesis was correct and True. That's something that we could have used, but due to Big Pharma, oh, he got the cure and we can't use our Band-Aid no more to make. No. He got to go. He got to go. He cutting into he.
You know how many people who would be out of a job if they found a cure for cancer? Do you know how many people, if they found a cure for cancer, if they found a cure for, what is it, kidney disease with dialysis, all these dialysis offices popping up everywhere. Like, do you know how many people would be out of jobs? Like, seriously.
Now that is a rough one. Dialysis. Man, God bless the people who have to deal with that. That's 3 times a week you got to go to get your blood rinsed.
That's horrible. Can you say because it's not going to make them money? Of course.
Right.
Doctors are not taught to, they're not taught to find a cure. They're not taught to get to the root of things. They're taught to put a Band-Aid over whatever your symptoms are to keep you coming back. They're paid to keep you sick.
That is one way of looking at it.
And it's, I'm going to say some, not all. You may have some that are genuinely concerned.
That's what you got to do the research on the doctors as well. You know, what is his save rate? You know, how many people are still, you know, here? How many has he lost? Like, yeah, you need to look into that because my cousin was actually going to a doctor. He was a black doctor too. And we thought he was good until I did some research on him. This guy was horrible. He was horrible. Oh my God. My cousin, his wife is still, I think she may be kind of done now, but she was trying to sue him because, you know, he passed away, Ron Austin, God bless his soul. But yeah, the doctor was sorry. He kept saying like, oh, it's gone. It's gone. You're cancer free. And, you know, 2 weeks later, we're going for a checkup. Oh, it's still here. It never left. It's this. Well, we need to do this now. And he definitely was guessing.
Oh, wow.
Definitely was guessing. You don't want nobody guessing with your life.
No. It reminds me of people that get the BBL. It's like, and you don't do the research on the doctors to see like, what are their success rates? Have they had any complaints? And then you get on that table and then you're fighting for your life.
Yeah, you got to look at the reviews.
Yes, you should. And yeah, don't be afraid to interview your doctor. This is somebody who's going to be advice that's going to be giving you advice about your life. You should be able to ask questions. Kenya says it's all about the Benjamins. Baby.
That's right. Matter of fact, I think it's next week on American Trap Queens where they interviewed a woman who was putting the cement in the booties, giving the Brazilian the butt lifts. When I say she caked, she was a millionaire from that. And she was using cement. Talk about hard body.
Like how? That you got to have some type of balls to put some cement in people and just not think it's going to come back on you. I don't understand.
I don't see how they went on that long anyway, because she definitely had some deaths. She had some deaths. And remember, K. Michelle, she took it out of her. I don't know, you know, what was in it, but she said, I don't even know why she needed. She was fine just the way that she was.
Oh, Lisa said they believe they got her in jail.
They got her in jail. Well, I'm gonna watch next week and get back to it. Yeah, she was making tons of money. Yup. I mean, she was a millionaire.
That is so scary. Like, I don't know. And
I have a conscience. I'm not going down there and get to break up some cinder blocks, water them down, and make you a brick house.
Oh, that would just be so scary.
We have brick house walking around for real.
That has to be really heavy. Like, oh my goodness. Oh wow. You guys, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk. We're live on Intellectual Radio. This is Lady ReShell and my co-host is The Biz. And we're talking about breast cancer awareness. Are we winning the battle? I'm gonna take a quick break. I want to highlight my event that's coming up, you guys, on October the 28th. We're having our Season to Embrace 7th Annual Survivors Reflection Celebration. It's going to be a brunch from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall. And I'm so, so excited. We're going to have a fashion show. The survivors are going to strut their stuff on the runway. And we're going to honor some survivors on that day as well. We're going to have a live band that day, some poetry going on. I'm just so excited about this day, you guys. This is 7 years for Warriors Talk. And believe me, God has been blessing us behind the scenes. I have individuals out there just raising money. Kenya is one of them. Kenya has raised money for survivors to attend free. Tracy has raised money for survivors to attend free. I'm so excited. I got a sponsorship today from Season. I'm so excited about that as well. So everything is just falling into place for this event, you guys. You still have time to get your tickets. Survivors are free. You are totally free for this event. We want you to come and relax and just enjoy the celebration. But you can come out and you can celebrate with the survivors. You can also sponsor a survivor as well. You can go to Eventbrite, type in Warriors Talk Survivors Gala, or you can go to warriorstalk.org and type in upcoming events, and you can participate and celebrate with us on that day. So I'm excited about that. You guys were talking about breast cancer awareness. Are we winning the battle? Rizal, we know that they have some advanced treatments that has come out when it comes to breast cancer. And I want to say that it really hasn't been that many treatments, but we do know that there are advanced treatments that have come out that women are taking advantage of.
There are, I've actually seen, and I think it was a black girl. I've been seeing this black girl. She's like the first to really find a cure for cancer. I was watching this other episode where they took some of the other diseases and they put it with the cancer, and it actually got rid of the cancer. It fed off the cancer and got rid of it. Like, these type of things is what we need to see and try to make them, a safe. Like, if you had cancer, they would give you something, maybe like the flu. They would give you the flu because of what the flu thrives on. Like, it's going to burn the cancer up and all of this. And it was working. They were showing you on, in the microscope on the little thing, and the cancer and the flu or whatever was fighting, and the flu overtook the cancer and got rid of it. But they don't tell you all of this.
Now, I remember hearing something about this young lady. And I think hers was a targeted cancer to where it wouldn't damage the other surrounding tissues around the tumor or whatever. And I know that she was raising money to try to get money so that she could start doing like clinical trials and stuff. So I think it's important when you see individuals like that, you can donate, because we know a lot of organizations out here that our money, we don't know where the money is going. But for organizations like that, do your research and find out exactly what's going on, and then help to push to fund, especially if you know that what she's doing is going to save some lives. Jasmine says, great advice on the show. Very helpful information. Thank you, Jasmine. Vanessa. Kenya says, I've always been seriously thinking about doing clinical trials. You should. A clinical trial, especially, the only way we're going to know if medicine works for us is if we participate in the clinical trials, so that when we have to use this medicine, we know that it's been used on somebody like us. If we're not present, if we're not at the table, we get the medicine and we're like, oh, we're having a hard time. Why is it not working for us? Because it was not created for us. And I'm not saying you have to participate in every clinical trial, but I feel like we should. At some point, we should.
Right. And even, going back to your event is something that should be sold out already. As much as people say, I want to help, I want to do this, your event should be sold out already. This is the information. This is what people need. And you're giving all survivors that come through there, you're giving them a free ticket because you've been in that battle before. I don't understand when it comes to information and when it comes to this thing, everybody, they're just on deaf ear, like, okay, I hear you, but I don't hear you. That event should be sold out. And, for me, I know I'm missing it this year, but I promise you, come next year and year after, I will be there every year.
Yes, so next year is year 8, the number of new beginnings. So that's going to be really special. Kenya says she agrees with you. I don't know what it is about people. I think if it's not really happening to you directly, you feel like, and they tend not to support. Or some people, when they hear cancer, it turns them off. They get sick. They don't want to because they know that, this is something that could happen to me, or this is something that's happening to somebody in my family, and they really probably just don't want to be around it. And I get it, but it doesn't mean that cancer is going to go away. You should want to help other people who are in battle. Even if you don't want to be there personally, you still can donate and help.
But like you said, because it's not happening to them or around them, but let it happen to them or someone that they know. Oh, they bringing the whole, come on, y'all, we got to do this. They got the whole marching band. They got the whole night shift. They got everybody coming down to try to help now and doing all X, Y, and Z to contribute to find it. Save me. Save me.
Yeah. You see them with T-shirts on and with the names on the back with their pictures. The whole family got it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know. You feel like this event should be packed. And I look at other events and I'm like, wow, and I'm not going to say the other events don't have a great cause, but it's like, you would think this event would be sold out. But I figure like the people who should hear it and who's supposed to hear the information is going to be there.
Yep, who's going to be there is going to be there. But
I agree with you. It should be by now. I should be trying to get another place to accommodate the extra overflow of people.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Let it be let it look. Just tell them Queen Bee is making an appearance there, or tell them 21 Savage going to be in the building or something. Yeah. It'll be sold out then.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, people, and I'm not going to say their priorities are all mixed up, but it just depends on.
No, you're right. No, their priorities are mixed up. What you mean you're not going to say it?
Because her concerts are sold out, and it's not like she needs the money. It's sold out. I mean, I guess it's entertaining people, and hearing about cancer and hearing survivor stories is not, it's not entertaining.
Even for the nosebleed section seats for her concert, you could have brought about $30. You could have brought 5 tickets, 5 tickets to come to Warriors Talk, to the 7th annual gala.
That's true. That's true.
The more people priorities. You could meet Lady ReShell right there and shake her hand. You ain't gonna meet Queen Bee and shake her hand. They ain't gonna let you near her.
I want to thank Red because he was the first person to get his ticket. He was like, "I'm gonna be there. I got you."
Cadillac.
Lisa said it's not entertaining, but it's life-changing. Thank you so much, Lisa. It is. It is. I always walk away empowered and shock myself when I leave there. I'll be like, wow. Yeah.
So I was entertaining when I did it. It is entertaining. It is entertaining, Lisa.
You don't sit over here in the corner because Rizal got this. Like a natural. You were just a natural with everything.
We had a good time that one. That was number 4.
No,
I think it was number 4.
No, was that 4?
Or was it 5?
That was 5.
It was 5?
Last year was 6. Yeah, that was 5. Yeah.
See, I was a handful.
Yeah, we had fun. We did. The whole weekend we hung out. We had fun. We got to do TikToks and everything that weekend. Yeah.
It's something that I don't do.
I'm gonna blackmail you with that TikTok.
There go Cadillac.
What's up?
Cali, you sitting in the cut silent, look, I ain't seen Cadillac name pop up all night. Then here come close to the show, his name come up after we mention him.
Just quiet in the corner. Yeah, Lisa said yes, but we always do. Yes, Lisa was the speaker that year you was there.
Mm-hmm.
The speaker, she had on her war gear and everything.
Yep.
I remember that. I want to take a quick vote right now, you guys, before we wrap up the show. How many of you think that we have won the war when it comes to awareness or just breast cancer, period? Just a yes or no. If you feel like, in the comments, if you feel like we have won this war when it comes to when it comes to cancer, when it comes to getting a word out there about cancer, about awareness, getting in there early. Red said he was working. All right, come on, y'all. I want to hear y'all comments. If you feel like we are winning, should I say, the war when it comes to cancer. Kenya said, are you referring to Warriors Talk? No, I'm not referring to Warriors Talk. I'm just referring to as a whole. Are we winning?
The world in a whole in general.
Yeah. Like, the information, do you feel like the awareness, when we have this awareness month, do you feel like people are really getting the information? Are they really taking action with the information? Are they just taking it and be like, oh yeah, and then they're not doing anything with it? Like, do you feel like we're winning?
They ain't doing diddly. They more worried about the election coming up next year.
Oh, Lisa says no.
That's one no.
All right. Jasmine says no.
2 no's.
Rizal, give me, while they're voting, give me some words of wisdom as it relates to breast cancer awareness, and are we winning the battle?
Oh. Well, I should have thought about this earlier. Wow. Well, I mean, really, the only thing I can say is that someone I love needs a cure, and that's everybody. So we just need to keep, eventually, if we just keep hitting the hammer on the stone, eventually we're going to have a breakthrough.
I agree. Kenya said to me, and I would be honest, a lot of people are not doing it for awareness. They are doing it for an alternative gain. And she said, but to answer your question, I don't believe so.
So that's a no. That's what, 3, 4 no's?
Yeah. All right, you guys, I have to wrap up. I got a show coming right behind me, so don't go anywhere. We have the People Show with Mark Wallace and Charles Thomas, so stay right here on Intellectual Radio. And as always, I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Cancer is not a death sentence, but it is an awakening to live your best life. So join me next Monday at 6 p.m. right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting with me today is Rizal Gilmore, a.k.a. The Biz. Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.